into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Welcome to the Vanderpump Rules AfterBuzz TV After Show. This is Season 3, Episode 20, Reunion Part 2. I'm your host, Jake DuPree, along with my co-hosts.
Hey everyone, I'm Christina Zias. You can find me on Twitter at Miss Zias, and we are live tweeting right now, so send me your questions.
And I am Megan Stecher on Twitter at Megan Stecher.
All the cool kids are here. Everyone, I'm Christy Olson. Please tweet me at Christy Reports.
And we have some very, very special guests in our beautiful studio right now.
Special.
It is Kristen Doute and James Kennedy. Dun, dun, dun. There we are. Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming in.
Yeah,
thanks for having me.
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting episode, especially for the two of you, because they go into a lot of in-depth with, like, the whole lying thing, the whole rumor thing, the whole, like, how do you feel about her always pursuing the Tom thing, so we're going to get into it. But first, I want to start off with how this episode starts out, and it starts out with Stassi. And it starts out with the whole Katie and Stassi thing. And I just want to get your opinion about this, Kristen. Like, since you two, I remember the first season when we had the two of you on, it was like, who are you two? Like,
it was my first AfterBuzz
what's
ever.
happening? Yeah,
Katie.
It's like,
oh yeah.
Everyone was always like, you two seem to be Stassi's minions. To be
right.
quite frank.
Oh, totally.
So what
Same
do you
haircut too. It was like, oh.
Wait, so what do you think about the whole like Katie and Stassi falling out situation? Where do you stand on it?
I mean, I'm kind of seeing it as a viewer because I wasn't friends with either of them or even friendly.
Mm-hmm.
I think regarding the reunion, it was between Katie and Stassi. I think Schwartz had, it made sense for him to kind of stick up for Katie or like speak in a little bit about it, but everyone else needed to like shut the F up. Like Sandoval's just like attacking Stassi and like Scheana and like Jax, like, especially Jax, like just chiming in about something that you know nothing about.
I mean, it's like once someone goes in, it's like everybody can kind of like jump in, but it's like they all were in this almost situation that you were in, being a viewer in terms of like just the two of them and like what they're going through.
Yeah, I mean, as a viewer, which I feel like I kind of am in that situation, I am proud of Katie for sticking up for herself the entire season, regardless whether it was Stassi or it was Schwartz or whatever, because that's the Katie that I've always known. And I feel like the last couple of seasons she's been depicted as this little minion, this like little quiet mouse, which is so not who she is. She was, I do feel like as a viewer she was a little tough on Stassi, but I wasn't there behind closed doors, so maybe that was warranted. I don't really know. I mean, I don't know. It's a tough one. I'm kind of on both sides of the fence.
See, last night was tough for me because I feel like all along this entire season I was so proud of Katie and think that the way she treated the Stassi situation was, she did a really good job. But last night, learning a little bit more about behind the scenes, like what was going on in Stassi's life,
right?
It kind of made it a little bit tough to be on Katie's side because Katie was attacking her last night a little bit.
That's how I feel. I feel like she was a little tough on her. But again, it's like I wasn't there when they went through what they went through, so maybe that was warranted. Maybe it was Katie's like deep-rooted hurt that was just finally coming out. It just appeared that she was just being a little rough, knowing everything that, especially now because I am friendly with Stassi, so knowing kind of what she went through with obviously the situation that did come out, I was just kind of like, I don't know, Katie, like you're nicer than that. Like you have a bigger heart than that, than to like keep on attacking, especially when they went to that kind of commercial break, which I obviously wasn't sitting there for. I think we went to the bathroom or something. And and it was just like, she's like, well, no, she was super cold. So, but again, I don't know. I mean,
do you think part of it is seeing the whole season back and hearing what Stassi was saying about her, what Stassi was saying about Schwartz, being like, okay, this obviously
no, because
isn't my
I think
friend.
what Stassi said about Schwartz was very warranted. the half weasel, half vagina, that you're really gonna get mad about that. I mean, I'm sorry, but he was acting like a half weasel, half pussy. Like he was, though.
Agreed.
He was being a little weaselly and he was being kind of a pussy at the same time. And I like Schwartz for the most part. I really do. But regarding that situation with Katie and Schwartz, I mean, he sucked.
Yeah.
So I think that as your best friend, like that's what your best friend's supposed to tell you. Your boyfriend's being an asshole. Like call him out on it.
Totally.
So I don't think that was something for Katie to get really mad about. I think that being friends with people who don't like Stassi may kind of
clouded the whole situation.
Yeah.
Because I got that a little bit. It was just interesting hearing like Stassi saying like, if you would have just acknowledged the situation and been like, I went to Miami, I'm sorry if it hurt you, then Stassi would have maybe forgiven her. In my opinion, I don't feel like Stassi would have
Stassi was a little selfish, though, in that. In the Miami thing, I think Stassi was selfish. Because I know that Katie really just didn't want to be, like, not included just for that. Like, and I wouldn't be there. I would be like, screw you, I'm going on this trip with everyone, and I'm going to film, and my boyfriend's going, and it's like, I thought that was super selfish of Stassi.
Yeah.
I got her point of view, thinking, like, the fact that Katie didn't say, hey, you know what, I really do want to go. I get it, but still, I mean, it's, like, not the end of the world.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She wants to go to Miami with her boyfriend. It's not worth breaking up a 4-year friendship over.
I completely agree with that sentiment. Like, what do you two think about this whole situation between the two of them?
Well, I was wondering if you thought when Katie's voice was quivering, when she was really giving it to Stassi, did you think it was, like, out of anger, or it was like she was almost going to cry?
No, I don't think she was that upset. I don't think she was upset.
It was when she was like, pick up the damn phone, your fingers aren't broken.
Fingers aren't broken. Yeah, no, I think that was Katie just like laying into her, like knowing Katie. And it's just like Katie hangs out with people who are like, borderline hate Stassi. So
yeah.
I think which is weird because seeing Katie as strong as she's been, I still feel like she's kind of being led in a direction that's, I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah.
Well, and I really agreed with Stassi when she mentioned that Katie sort of changed her whole outlook on the people in the situation. And that's really very legitimate. She went from being on Stassi's side to being completely on the other side.
Right.
What do you think about that?
No, and I mean, again, this is all as kind of a viewer too, because I wasn't really involved in a lot of those people or with those people, but the Katie that I knew, the Katie that I was friends with, was very kind of on the fence about things. She was able to say, like, I don't agree with you, but I see your point of view, and I don't agree with that, but I see your point of view, and this is how I feel. And she was always very diplomatic, kind of, when in anything dealing with me and Tom, or me, whatever. And I felt like at the reunion, she made her decision, and no matter what was said, that was her decision. There was no listening. There was no... So I don't know. I mean, maybe it's because she was that hurt and that angry, but that's just not the Katie that I knew. I feel like she would have been a little kind of
more lenient.
Both sides.
Yeah.
There was a lot of opinions that Katie has changed a lot over the last year or so. Do you agree with that?
I mean, I don't know Katie really anymore. You know, we've just recently been cordial and friendly. I mean, she's said to me, like, you know, we're not enemies. Like, there's no reason you should, like, fear me, or, like, there's no ill will. We're just not friends. So I don't know. I mean, in the brief few conversations I've had with her, I definitely see a different person that I knew. But it's not to say that change is bad. I don't know.
James, what's your opinion on everything? Are you kind of like, these girls are crazy, I'm staying out of it?
Yeah, I mean, with that whole friendship, you know, I really have nothing to say about it. You know? It's just so far away. Like, I wasn't there for that when they were friends back in the day, and, you know, just watching everything through another screen isn't gonna, you know, give me a say and word on how I should feel about it. So. And
what has been your reaction? I mean, interaction with Stassi? Like, do you ever see her? Do you hang out? Like, what is it? Like, what do you feel about her?
I mean, yeah, I don't think she's a bad person. You know, the most I've known from her is from working. You know, we'd be in the same section, and that would be that, really. And then she stopped working at SIR, and yeah, she always seemed like a nice girl. She was. Did
you ever watch the show during like the first season or anything? Did you ever?
When I first started at SIR, then like obviously I heard about the show and wanted to watch it just because I'm working.
Yeah,
there.
I mean, it's like interesting to see it.
So then I saw it, but you know, that doesn't really give me an opinion on somebody when I see them every day. You know
in
what I
terms
mean?
of like editing and all that stuff.
Right, and even back then, I didn't really even know about editing and shit like that. You know, I'm not very like.
You do now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do now. Jesus, but you know.
When you were watching that first season back when you started working there, did it ever occur to you that you may end up on the show?
I mean, not really. Not as intense as like. I mean, no, not really. I mean, me and Tom became friends later in when I was like working, and we even filmed during season 2 a little bit at my house, like making music, but that never like got to screen.
It did a little bit.
No, that was us two in our. It was in a teaser
like a
for like
brief.
2 seconds. Yeah, it was in like a commercial, but yeah, I was like, oh shit, didn't know, but no, not to the extent it's gotten to, no.
And also, what is it your opinion? This is like completely moving on from this whole like thing, but what is your opinion about Jax's tattoo, both of you? About what is this?
Which
is
one?
Is it Carmen?
It's the same thing as
is
my
it Carmen?
opinion.
Is it Stassi? Like we don't know.
No, it's definitely not Stassi. They were just. I think they're just trying to mess with
Look,
her.
if you pause the screen right when he shows the tattoo and like zoom in on the photo and then take a facial photo of Carmen, you'll put it over it and it's like a traceable photo.
That's
you know?
what Rachel was saying. She was here last week and she's like, it's definitely
it's
a Carmen.
100% Carmen.
Not to mention, Carmen was there when it was happening, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
when he got the tattoo.
Who do you
Well,
think
that's
Jax
crazy, right?
Right. So who do you think Jax is telling? It's like who it is on the arm, like.
Jax is just out of his mind.
He
I
just
feel the
wants-
same way about his tattoo as I feel about him. He's out of his fucking mind.
Absolutely.
He kind of proves that at the very end of the episode. We'll get there, but like
He's a serial killer.
it's like completely like, just going in circles all the
Well,
time.
I was thinking that evil side of the face was supposed to be Stassi, and the other side was supposed to be Carmen. Maybe it was
Oh
some
no,
sort of like
he'll probably get it
thing.
covered up with a big black flower
was
in the
funny.
next 2 weeks.
Well, James, I was wondering, Jax is really kind of like giving it to you verbally during
Yeah.
the reunion whenever you were trying to chime in. Did he try to
Yeah.
get physical with you at all after it was
No,
over?
Yeah, did he
no,
wreck you?
we
He
cheersed
came
after.
to
We
TJ.
cheersed after. I like, it's all fun and games, really. I don't take really anything that comes out of his mouth seriously, but I like winding him up whenever I can. He knows. He just looks at me as like a little shit, but I just look at him like an old bastard. So,
Do you guys kind of feel like it was everyone kind of, and then just the two of you, since everyone else is kind of friends, other than
At the
Stassi
reunion?
being,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. I mean, but I did feel this sort of need and want to defend her a little bit without compromising myself. Because we're not like BFFs, but I know that she does have no one, and I know how shitty that feels in a group like that. It wasn't always just like I was on the outside or she was. Like at one point it was like Scheana was on the outside or this person was on the outside, and it's a terrible feeling to have those kind of people like bully you, especially because I've known all of them for so long. I'm like, I know your games, I know what you're doing. I know that you all sat at someone's house before this reunion and talked about their plan. Like they had a plan, super obvious.
I mean, I feel like that's on every single reunion, every Bravo show. Is like everyone comes in and it's like we have to take a stand. Like you make your alliance.
Right,
You do.
exactly.
You really do.
very lost.
Yes.
Kristen, I feel like you were kind of like let easy though. Like I don't think anyone really targeted you at the reunion.
But I didn't react, that's why.
Yes, you were very composed, girl. I was going to ask you about that. Was that sort of a strategy?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to let them get to me. I mean, it wasn't like a fake strategy, like a false thing that I was doing. It was just, I don't always have to respond. That was just what I went in with. Like, don't always feel the need to jump on every time someone may or may not even be attacking me.
Well, yeah, because it sort of read like you're kind of over it all. Is that how you feel?
I mean, I knew that what they were going to attack me about, or what would be the conversation at hand, would be the Tom and Ariana thing, and that I am over.
Right.
So I'm not going to keep on keeping on. You know what I mean? And I actually did wish them well. It's unfortunate it didn't air, but I did. I said, like, you both seem happy. Like, I didn't apologize for anything. I have nothing to apologize for.
Agreed.
In my opinion. But I just said, you seem happy. Clearly, you've been together for a long time, and, like, good for you. I wish you both the best. End of story.
I will say that you, in particular, in terms of just like coming into a situation, that you always do come off very poised and very. You can express yourself in the way you feel. I mean,
Definitely
I know,
express myself.
and also like throughout the season, I think that you didn't come off the best, and I've even said it. I've even said like some of your behavior
Clearly.
was heinous. Like I will own that, but I
Kinda
will say
ratchet.
that you will always. There's a part of you that can explain yourself in a nice way to make it whether people believe you or not, or want to believe what you want to say or
well,
not.
Well, because if
like,
I mess up, I say
yeah.
I messed up. And if I don't think that I did, I'm going to tell you why I didn't think I did.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not someone that's like, I never do anything wrong. Like, it's totally okay that I told my manager to suck a dick. Like, no, it wasn't okay. Like, I made a mistake. I'm human. I sort of keep continuing to make mistakes, but I'm getting a little bit better.
I also want to start talking about the whole Stassi and Lisa thing, because I thought that was super disrespectful that she would go on air when everything is so public now. Like, it's going to get back to her about calling her an old woman and how it was just, and how she's the star of the show. Like, whether she was joking or not, it's just like, this is the lady that's writing your paycheck. Like, you wouldn't be on air if it weren't for Lisa. Mm-hmm. Sorry, you wouldn't be. And that was just really gross to me that she would throw Lisa so far under the bus. But that's the problem with Stassi, I think, is like, once she feels attacked, she's like, I have to like go after you even harder and better and make it worse. Like, there's just like this weird sentiment with her that's like so strange.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it was like a personal attack. I think Stassi just doesn't care anymore.
Because she's done with it all, right?
I mean, I think so. I don't know for a fact, but I think she's just like, she just got to a point.
But anything that Stassi gets like from this show here on out, she's still known from this show.
Right, so 100%. That's why I never attack Lisa, and Lisa hates me more than she hates anyone, let's be honest. But whenever I do any sort of press about her, I'm still grateful, because I am. I don't like the way that she talks about me. I don't like the way that Lisa talks to me. I think it's beyond disrespectful, because I'm not a child, and especially because I don't work for her anymore. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say, not even in Stassi's defense, but just how I feel, they had that little kind of happy hour situation.
Well, it's like they were
when we were in Miami,
and
she said, Stassi said, "You
disagree with like whoever's on your side."
And I agree with that. I completely agree with that. Is that something I would necessarily say to Lisa? No, because I always say, kind of lack of a better word, she's sort of like an elder. Like, she's my friend's mom, and she's older than me. She's not 5 or 10 years old.
Be
it's
respectful.
Like, yeah, and at one time she was my boss, and she does have this sort of air about her. Do I think that she frowns upon people who she considers not as, like, I don't know, like royal as she is, or you know what I mean, for lack of a better term?
Refined or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And I don't agree with that, because I think for everybody, including, I think I've said this with you guys before, like, know your roots. Like, you didn't always come from everything, so just stay humble. And I think that about cast members, and I do think that about Lisa, but it's Lisa. So at the end of the day, like, she rules all. I mean,
do you feel the need to stay kind of cool with Lisa, since she is one of the EPs of the show?
I don't feel the need. I just don't think it would benefit me by any means to not. Mm-hmm. I mean, clearly we butt heads. We're not the best of friends. We're never going to be. We're in a better place now that I don't work at SUR, for sure. And she obviously does really like James, and James works for them a lot more than, he's on a closer level DJing for them. But it doesn't benefit anyone to fight with her. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like, you're never going to win, so why?
Yeah.
You know?
I kind of felt like a lot of the Stassi Lisa drama was bullshit, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like there's been so many scenes where we're like, that was scripted. Like, remember the whole, what was it, at Pump, like the shoot that she did for Lisa? I don't know, I just felt like a lot of it was like trying to get Stassi involved.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole season,
maybe like that stuff, I don't know. Just as far as their, like, demeanor toward each other, I don't think that's scripted at all. I think that's, like, because the way I look at it, and this is, again, sort of as a viewer, but, like, Stassi was always Lisa's favorite, very publicly.
Lisa said that.
Lisa has gone on, like, E! News and, like, said, I choose Stassi over Scheana, even, which
I
thought was, like, kind of messed up, because it's like, maybe feel it but don't say it. It's kind of rude. Right. Like, it was rude to Scheana, and I was friends with Stassi then. Mm-hmm. But then there was this quick flip. Stassi doesn't want to do the show. Now you hate her. Interesting.
And I made a little note, like, with the star. I was like, it is odd that Lisa would want to put Stassi and Jax in a situation together. That, to me, is like a scripted moment.
Because she doesn't care about how Stassi really feels. She knows that it'll be great for ratings.
Yeah,
regardless of Stassi's feelings.
For sure.
And I know for a fact that Stassi was very, very adamant on wanting nothing to do with Jax. She did not want to film with him. She didn't want to be under the same roof. And that was sort of agreed upon, as far as I know, regarding the finale party, that Stassi would come and film, Jax would show up a couple hours later, and then they tricked her. Right, and that's why she ran.
Someone mentioned that maybe that's coming from Patrick, that he's forbidding Stassi to be in the same room as Jax.
I don't know
Do you think that that's true?
No, I don't.
Have you gotten to know Patrick at all?
I've never met him. I don't have any reason to meet him. I think that's weird.
Yeah. I mean, and Katie alleged that she's now like a kept woman. Stassi's more like a kept woman
but
now.
like Rachel said, Rachel's like, I want to be a kept woman. Like, what's wrong with that?
Amen, yeah.
No, I really, honestly, I don't know a lot about Stassi and Patrick at all. I do converse with her. I don't really talk to her about him. I just know that he wants to be left off the show. And that's fair, I think. And if that's what he chooses, why is that? And that's what she chooses for her relationship. Like, why is everyone so obsessed with it?
Yeah.
Like, I know Sandoval was like, well, we all do it. But yeah, but we signed up for it. Mm-hmm. We agreed. We signed a contract. Even he did, regardless whether he was with me or not. James, like, Patrick chose not to do it. So why is everyone harping on it? Mm-hmm. Let it go.
Mm-hmm. That's true. So I want to move on. Before we do, head on over to iTunes and give us a rating. We would like 5 stars if you want, just if you want. Mm-hmm. But if you don't like us for 5 stars, then give us a comment and tell us why not. So there it is. Toot toot. All right.
Hate here.
So
come on now.
Of course, the whole situation that was really funny to me. This was like the Katie motorboating and Dick situation, and it was so hilarious. The Andy Cohen thing. You have to do your notes with it.
Andy was like, so. It was kind of like, let me read from here. I have it as a quote. Motorboating a dick.
Yeah.
Did that really happen? Like, it's just so hilarious how he asked. Like, he could have been, humored by it, but he was like, it says here you're motorboating a dick. Did you cheat on someone? Like, what was that?
He was very like, that can be done?
Yeah.
How do I do that?
Child, he knows how to do that.
Definitely.
He knows. And he's acting. And if he didn't do it before, he's done it since.
Oh, yeah. He's like, let me try that.
I think Katie cheated on Tom. I just feel like whether she meant to or not, like whether she was conscious or not, like blacked out or not, I feel like it happened. I don't think you're like that okay with your boyfriend cheating on you if you didn't do it yourself. And I think that's why Tom was like so okay with like the motorboating a dick, because he knew he was guilty as well. And it's fine, like whatever, everyone makes mistakes, and if they're both okay with it. But like that was so not believable. She was like, "No, I didn't do it," and like that was it. I was like, "Give me like a little bit more drama, a little bit more heart."
But also, like the more, if you have to defend yourself more, it makes you look even guiltier.
Like Tom.
Like, I didn't do it.
Yeah, but if you hesitate for 5 seconds and then go, no.
Yeah, that's what she did.
It looks a little suspicious.
It was
and I agree with you. I think they're just all an eye for an eye at this point. A kiss for a kiss, a motorboat for a motorboat.
I mean, if you cheat on your boyfriend and he cheats on you, like, and you don't give a shit, then who cares?
Call it even.
It's all even.
Yeah.
But
that ends the argument right there. Like, if
I
you're
don't
okay
believe
with
it didn't happen. That's odd.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of the whole thing about our season. It's like, if you're okay with it, then why should anyone else care?
Yeah.
It's so
That's
weird.
true.
Kristen, Scheana made a big deal out of the motorboating thing, and she
did
you about it
originally.
and
That's why I got
backed
so
off on
irritated
it.
throughout the whole season, because she was the first person, or actually Jax was the first person to text me about it, and then it was that Jax, Scheana, and I don't remember if it was Sandoval or someone else. Like, they were like, "Oh, we saw it. She definitely did." And the thing is, the guy who she supposedly had this interaction with at the time he's friends with a friend of mine who's not really on the show. And it was the very next day, said guy is texting my friend being like, "Hey, can I get Katie's number?" Ooh. It was like, okay, do I see Katie like motorboating a D? Like, I think it's the weirdest thing ever. But do I think there was some sort of like
flirtiness?
Yeah, like hanging on or whatever it was. Yeah. It was just something that maybe wasn't like cheating, quote unquote, but if Schwartz would have been standing there, it wouldn't have happened.
Right.
Mm-hmm. He would have been,
which is sort of cheating.
That everyone backed off of it at the reunion?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, they did that like toward the end of the season. Scheana was like, "Well, I mean, I didn't really say that." I'm like, "Yes, you did. You actually full force came to me, and it is on camera. When you say things on tape, you can't deny them later, Jax." Like,
yeah. When Rachel was here last week, she said that Sheena's kind of like the one that spills everyone's beans.
Oh, yeah.
Is that
well,
true?
no, I mean, I put Jax number 1.
Okay. and then
There's
Scheana?
no one. Yeah, Scheana is like, she's not a bad person, and she does care about people, and she has a heart, and she is not like a crazy sociopath like Jax. Right. I won't put her anywhere near. No one's near
I'm
Jax.
not trying to compare them either.
But Scheana loves a good gossip.
Yeah.
And I feel like for a lot of Scheana's like 20s, she was kind of in the middle of gossip and like
talked about
right, tabloid stuff, and dating celebrities.
And now that she's not, and she's like in a healthy relationship, marriage, and like chill, it's like that's kind of her fun. She gets to still be involved, but it's not about her. You know what I mean? Like Scheana loves good gossip. I mean, if she denied it, like there's no way she could.
Yeah.
And we're on a reality show. Let's be real. How do we not all like love a good gossip at some point or another? They'd be liars.
That's what like spawns a whole reality show. Is like, I heard this, you heard this, did you hear this? Yeah, so that makes sense. But I really liked the whole thing with Lisa being like Katie's grown up and stuff, and I appreciate that too because every time she came here, she seemed like so cool, and just like a normal person, like just like. Sometimes I'm like, why are you on this show? Because I feel like she was too like reserved. But it was kind of refreshing to see her like go after Tom and then go after Stassi and like really stand up for what she believes in. So
yeah, but she stands up for what she believes in and then she backs down at the same time. Because in the episode before, Lisa was like, she's like, if Tom went to Miami, it would have been a one-way trip. And Lisa's like, really, would it? And then like she gave Tom that ultimatum and really like, which is a hard ultimatum.
That's true, but. At least, I don't know, at least on camera, to me, she looks that way. Like, she looks like she's able to offer an opinion. Rather than just be like
more so than past seasons, 100%. Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice for me to see.
I think it would bother me was more about Lisa than Katie. I think because Lisa just, like, seems so contradicting. And, I don't know, she really does pick favorites. It's just ridiculous. How can you be someone's boss?
I know.
She definitely picks favorites.
Yeah.
It's tough. And I want to move on to this.
She's gonna hate me.
It's only a bad thing if you're not if you're not her favorite. It sucks. If you're one of her favorites,
it's amazing.
It's great.
James, you're a favorite.
I mean, you know, I've been DJing a lot more. You know, I'm resident DJ now at Pump and Stir.
Congratulations!
That's awesome.
Yeah,
no more
bussing,
no more bussing
tables, and you know, I'm doing a pretty good job at it. And you know, yeah, we're building a friendship with Lisa.
Does she ever ask you about Kristen?
Yeah, all the time. You know, Kristen's always coming through the Pump as well, and you know, I sit down with Lisa 5-10 minutes. We chat a little bit. You know,
Lisa's like, give me the gossip, give me the gossip.
Yeah, not so much. No, not even that. I mean, I've got my own like plans with Lisa, so we're not even really gossiping about that. She likes to ask what's going on here and there, but it's more so just like, you know, what's happening with me, really.
Mm-hmm. You're good friends with Max, her son, is that right?
Yeah, I'm good friends with Max too.
And you have an accent, so she automatically thinks you're more
She's like, you're part of the
Brits got to stick together, yeah.
James, I have a funny story about, we were all at the, well, not all of us. I'm not sure who was, were you there at the AfterBuzz holiday party?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Who was I with? Oh, okay. So I was with Fern and Grant, and we were, Beverly Hills Housewives had just started or was about to start, and we were like, let's go to Pump, because they let all the public in to this party we had all been at all night. And we were like, let's blow this joint. So many people here, let's go to Pump. And I walked in, and we took us like the little cute little like sober trolley over, because we were already had been drinking. And we walk in, and I see James. I go, James, as if I know him, like, because I'm like, oh, I totally know James in my head. And I'm like, I turned to them, and I'm like, oh shit, I just yelled his name. Like, I don't know him. And I'm like, can we take a picture together? And you were like, absolutely. And we just like took a quick Instagram pic, and I was like, oh my god, you guys, I'm so embarrassed. I was just like, oh hey, but I don't really know him.
Well, that stuff probably happens to you all
Good
the time
times.
now, right?
Yeah, it's good times, you know. I like to like play along with people at Pump. I just like to have fun when I go there, you know. It's so much better than bussing tables. Like, you know, I go in, I play whatever music I like, I set a mood, and, you know, I have fun with everyone, you know.
Do people ever approach you and say rude things to you about Kristen or about your relationship?
I think it really depends on like what body language you give towards people, because if you give them such a positive like, hello, what's going on, guys, you want to drink?
Like, oh, he's really cool. Yeah,
exactly. You know, it's gonna be it's a little different. They don't want to be, you know, like bitches to me.
Yeah.
You know,
They do sometimes though.
Yeah, they do. You know, a little bit sometimes, especially if
not when I'm there.
Yeah, if she's there, it's not gonna happen. But if she's not there, you know, is it like, you know, I gotta say, you gotta dump her, da, 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 da. You know what I mean? And it's just like little snarks like that, which I don't really pay like attention. Most of the time I just act like I didn't even hear what they said, you know?
I mean,
and that kind of trips them out, because it's like, I'm like, oh yeah, check this, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, did he catch that?
Is it mostly women saying that or men?
Mostly women.
Women are such bitches to each other. Like, I feel like that's what Stassi used to say about Jax too. Like, people would come in, or Tom about you. Like, you gotta dump Kristen, you gotta
yeah.
Gosh, women just gotta stick together.
That's
so much better.
And I really want to talk about the whole cheating thing. We can move into that, all the rumors and like you wanting to ruin Tom's life and all that stuff. It was because of Kristen that I actually like saw the side, Kristina, about you, at the side about you, that, I don't know, it became more apparent to me. It was like, why is Kristen getting all the blame for all of this stuff when all these other people have been doing that? And I will say Kristina is the one that kind of brought that to my attention. That's not the way I thought about it. I really didn't. I was, kind of against you in a way.
Yeah.
Because
just like seeing like let it go.
Yeah, and it was just it was thanks to her that I saw this, and it was like this episode really proves it, because all these people are just like changing their story, and it just looks crazy. Like, it looks crazy. It's like, why is all this stuff being made up in the first place and being perpetuated?
That was one thing that really bothered me at the reunion, is that I don't remember if it was Tom or Ariana, but they were like, well, the only person whose story has never changed. And I'm like, whoa. Like, I was tweeting from Hollywood Life last night. Like, I got their Twitter for like an hour. And I'm like, actually, the only person whose story has never changed was mine. Whether it was like what Miami Girl told me or whatever, but from day one, my story has not changed even like this much. Like, never. I mean, who knows? Maybe she made some stuff up, or maybe Jax made some stuff. Who knows? But this is what I was told. I mean, 100% there are certain things that girl told me, and it wasn't about his man situation and all of that BS. Like, there were just things that were just too on point. I think I've told you guys before. She knew things about our contracts. Oh, what? She just pulled that out of her ass? Really? Come on. So at the very least, you guys definitely hung out for a prolonged period of time for you to feed her that information.
I mean, I just think it's interesting, the whole situation with her anyway, because obviously Tom and them probably knew that she was coming, because she has to be mic'd up. She has to be around, like, the situation. Like, you have to pass her.
Yeah,
and
I don't know. The moment she walked in, it was kind of weird, because it was like Tom behind the bar, Rachel and I sitting over here,
it's just
and
real
cameras
convenient.
Are pointing at the door. I don't know if he knew she was walking in, but he knew something was about to go down, because it's like camera,
Like set up,
and it's like, who's walking in? I don't know if they knew, though. I don't know.
James, you've said several times, especially throughout the reunion, that like there's no doubt in your mind that Tom cheated on Ariana. Like, why?
Because it's just like,
where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, it just looks so obvious, and I can see it written on Jax's face. The conversations they've had as guys together about it, let alone what I've heard from Kristen and Anne-Marie and all these fucking people. It's like, sorry, am I allowed to swear?
No, you're fine.
Oh, yeah.
So,
it's the internet.
It's the internet.
It's just like, how can I not expect, when you're drinking, you get sentimental, you start talking about things that get deep like that.
What
God,
else was
like,
said
how
in
can you not be
Miami?
having sex? Like, what the fuck are you doing then? It's just such bollocks to me.
What happened in Miami when you guys all were out to dinner for Shay's dinner together? And you were
started off really
texting
nice.
Kristen.
It started off good. They all left me, and then I just made my way to the thing, and then sat down, and everything was nice and chill until, Jax obviously brought up Tom's whole situation, and, Tom kind of fired back at Jax regarding his whole situation, and then Schwartz is just like in the sandwich, all feeling all bashful and embarrassed and doesn't know what to do, and then I'm just sitting there laughing like, you guys are all fucking idiots right now. Like, either cover for each other or the castle's gonna fall, and that's just what ends up happening. And then at the reunion, Jax is saying I was getting beers, I was at CVS. It's like, okay mate, you were at CVS all night? Like,
or you were at the beach
or
with
you
her
were at the
family.
beach.
I heard he was at the
Like,
beach.
you walked to CVS, got beers, and went to the beach and drank them on your own all night. Like, it's just such... And I've been like, me and Jax have like come home, from a drunken night where it's just been me and him back at my place, and like we've been chatting till
hours.
6 a.m, and he's telling me all this fucking crazy shit about the truth, and James, I guarantee, man, but guarantee you, bro, like, and then the next morning it's like sober, and it's like, oh, forgot that whole conversation,
Do you think that Ariana believes Tom, or do you think that Ariana knows?
I honestly feel like I will say that, like, just talking about it is so like just old school news for me, especially, and I couldn't imagine for them, whether or not Ariana knows or not, they're past it, you know, and Ariana could really give a shit whether Tom fucked her or didn't. I believe,
Well, good for her. Like,
and if if Tom did tell her the truth and say, yo, listen babe, keep it under wraps for this, we'll stick through it, then good on them for fucking doing it.
Or she just believes that it didn't. Yeah, but I think that was kind of the bottom line that Scheana made that point to me.
Exactly.
Especially, it was like, they don't care. Let it
Right,
go.
and if Tom said sorry to her, like off camera, I won't do it again, babe. You know what are you gonna do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I told them when they were here on the show afterward, I was like, the whole argument is over if you say, even if he did cheat on you and you're cool with it, that's the argument. Because no one else can combat
and
that.
given that, like I will say
it's
too,
not my business if she doesn't care.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, it was fresh for Tom too. You know, 6 years relationship. You know, even if Ariana is the love of your life, that was still fresh in the moment for them. So, you know, now speaking, I do believe that Tom is like, you know, really in love with Ariana and staying with her, and you know, I do believe that they're really happy now.
You guys don't think they're just sticking it out because
No.
they've made this big thing and they have to stick together?
I don't
As
think
far
so.
as still
I
being
believe they
together?
really love
Yeah.
each other. Yeah.
I mean, we haven't been filming for how long? Mm-hmm. I mean, I couldn't imagine living a life like that, staying together for a 4th season, possibly. Like, no, I think
It's legit?
I mean, I don't know them at all. I have not spoken to either of them. I haven't seen either of them.
It's a lot
but
easier said that than done too. You know, people even have said that about
no,
us.
they
and
have
it's
to.
like, mentally,
they have
you
to
can't
love
put
each
yourself
other.
through that.
They
that
live
long,
together.
really.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
And we had
they
them here,
have
and
to.
they are really cute together, and they seem to work well.
I mean, I think their cuteness is a little bit of a front. I think it's a little over. I mean,
Too cuddly.
sorry.
well, I was just about to say that. We've even said on the show.
But I do think
Yeah.
that they're like.
you don't think they kiss
I
like
think
that
they're-
all the time?
That's crazy because
Yeah.
we are the
We
ones
actually
that
do.
like don't stop making out. I actually got threatened my job at Sir because we couldn't keep
Yeah.
our hands off each other, and like even out of work.
We
like,
were taken off the schedule together, and then
Yeah.
if we tried to switch schedules to be
They'd be like,
on the
"No."
same days,
Yeah, we
that
weren't
one of us
allowed.
would get sent home.
I had friends that were like, guys, you got to start making out, otherwise I'm just gonna go home. Like, you know, so it was funny how the cameras, producers, whatever you want to call it, made us seem so like kind of not
Like
kissy
chummy.
all the
Yeah.
time. And it was funny because I thought of Ariana and Tom very like, oh, they're kept back. They must like, jump on each other when doors are closed because I never see them kiss. And it's
Right.
like, they just did it in front of us, I guess. And it was crazy on the show. It predicted that they can't
is
keep their hands
funny.
off each other.
Yeah, I
Very
think that stuff
strange.
was fake, but I do think that they're like tight. Like I think they're good together or
Yeah.
in love or whatever. I mean, they're solid. There's
Yeah.
no way they're faking it.
How long have you guys been together now?
Little over a year.
Over here.
Oh, wow. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Are you two living together?
No. I've got my own spot and
But
stuff. But we
But
basically live
basically,
together.
All the time, yeah.
Because you
Alternating.
can't film
You know
at
how
your
it
apartment,
works.
right, Kristen? They won't allow
I
you
no,
to
my
film at your
new place I
apartment?
can.
Okay.
I moved into a new place in September. Yeah, September.
Yeah.
Where I lived over the summer, no, the landlord would not allow filming.
I wish they did though because it was sick.
It was sick.
It was
Wait,
sick.
really?
It was next to Yamashiro.
Oh.
Like above Yamashiro.
In the hills?
Yeah.
Yes, and they wouldn't allow that. That
Fancy.
I know, it was a major
sucks.
bummer.
Me too.
But my new place, they will.
Well, to take a hard turn here, just real quick with James, I just wanted to say my whole favorite moment of the season when you were like, Kristen, you're unmanageable. But in your definition, like I just wanted to know like your definition of the word was at the time.
It was a really
just,
cute moment, by the way. It was cute.
No, we
Not
love
cute.
The definition would be something you're unable to work with
Okay.
at the specific moment
That's
or
what
ever.
That was really cute.
Yeah.
In terms of like your work, like the situation, not so cute. And I
No.
actually want to get into that. How did the two of you get past or like come back from that? Because the resolve to me seemed. I mean, of course, it's only like what, like
Right, they don't really
30
show.
seconds of like a conversation on camera. It just seemed like so like. I'm sorry. No, it was my fault. No, it was my fault. I'm sorry. And I was
Yeah,
like,
no, it was
what?
it was like a-
you hit him.
It was over a week. It was well
Yeah.
over a week that we didn't talk. Or I mean, we sort of talked, but not really. Like we didn't.
Oh, wow.
I mean, we basically broke up. Like that lunch, we were broken up. It was just. I don't know. It was hard.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that-
we thought that was like a really raw, real scene that we all really enjoyed.
Yeah,
So I
and did
remember
that
talking
come
about
up
that.
because of scheduling for the show? Like they wanted you to get together and talk, or did you guys did one of you say, "Hey, it's time, let's get together and have a chat"?
No, because we hadn't filmed anything together for like a week plus, and they were like, "Well, what's going on with you guys?" And I'm like, "I don't really know. It's like I don't really want to not be with him, but this isn't okay, and it can't just be okay." And so they're like, "Okay,
God,
well."
that was such a stressful time now that I think
Yeah.
about that. Like, ugh.
Oh, do you not want to relive it right now?
It's so funny to see that because I was at the wedding and like y'all are dancing like having such a good time and then all of a sudden I see that I had no idea any of that happened. Was that later in the night? Like much later? Because
Not really. It was happening in the midst of everything.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I left before a lot of the fun things happened.
What?
Carmen came and picked me up and took
I was unaware anything fun was happening. I was so just gone out of my mind. Like, I
Really?
was stumbling around like a homeless drunk person in a bow tie.
What
Like, I
were you
looked
so mad about?
ridiculous.
What were you so mad about?
I was just, when I drink, I got a little insecure about the whole situation with her, and it was just annoying. It was just fucking annoying, and it's just like, when you see love is in the air at the wedding and stuff, I got free champagne, I'm taking 2 by the 2. I must have had like 10 glasses before dinner, it was not good. So I just I just lost it, I guess.
Yeah,
Lost my cool.
I just couldn't believe that actually happened because, I mean, the two of you didn't appear, like, to me, seeing you, I was like, that was so shocking to see because I did not expect that to happen at all.
Yeah, it did go from 0 to 100 real quick.
Real.
Yeah, he got drunk early and I wasn't, and then because he was, I made sure that I didn't get there at all to kind of protect that. And also being that we were filming the show and then we had a Bravo photographer there that started kind of following us around, and he was being a little not normal James, and I was just like, oh, you're gonna hate this tomorrow, like just try to relax kind of a thing. And then it just got to a point where I was trying to ditch, and like in hindsight I'm like, maybe I should have just like grabbed him and like been very, very loving, and maybe that would have fixed it. Like, I don't know. I was just trying to, who knows?
Yeah,
We've all been there.
It's just a bad situation, like just in general. But like, for me, I was just like, how do you come back from that? Because like the second that someone like would hit me, I'd be like, we're done.
Yeah, like bye.
Like, just to be honest.
Yeah.
See, I feel like everyone, our viewers, think I like support hitting, which I don't.
No.
But like, I think that you said some really fucked up shit, and I can't believe I just cursed like that.
Yeah.
But like, not that it's okay that you hit him, because it's not. But like, that was really hurtful.
Yeah, it
like
was.
to watch and hear that too.
It's never okay.
Yeah.
I want to make
so
that very
neither of
clear.
you
Like,
guys-
it is never okay.
No,
like,
it's not.
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just
Yeah, and, like,
volatile and shitty.
the two
It's
of you,
just
I
like,
don't
And that's why
it
we
went
didn't
to
like
the
jump in
height
bed
of what it could
the next
have
morning
gone
together.
to,
You
yeah.
can't.
It's just unfortunate that cameras were around and something of a relationship as intense as this one, with everything that...
And cameras heighten everything, too.
Yeah.
And I don't think that the two of you are violent people. Like,
No, to be honest, I don't even remember, like, as you said, like, how could you just, like, keep going after that and stuff like that? I don't remember physically getting hit that night. So when I woke up the next morning, I was like, what happened? I got hit. Like, I know I was talking about it after, but, dude, I woke up and I was gone. I was like, Kristen hit me? Like, what is going on? Cameras were there? What the fuck? So it was very, just weird for me to hear that back. So I just felt apologetic because I knew, like I didn't remember what I said, but I remember, like, dirt was coming out of my mouth. So I just wanted to apologize. I felt like shit and, just learn from my mistakes, really.
Do you guys think your relationship would be different if you didn't have to sit and rehash this stuff all the time? Like, does that offer any perspective
rehash
to you,
things?
or-
Talking, no. Watching is hard.
Oh.
Yeah, watching back was a little...
Yeah,
Well, it's the way it's edited,
A little
too.
fucked up. Yeah, I know.
Was there anything about the editing?
You
that-
guys are watching the same thing I am, right?
Yeah.
So
Was it misrepresented in any way with the editing?
I want to
What
say
happened?
yeah. I want to say yeah. Kristen, the whole thing was, when we'd be at lunch and she's talking about Tom and Ariana and stuff like that, it wasn't like I'm out to lunch with my girlfriend and she's like, oh, you do know if, like, Ariana left Tom tomorrow, I would leave you for Tom because we were together for so long. It wasn't that at all. It was Kristen always telling me, I don't want to be looked as a liar. I'm sick of being called a liar because everyone thinks I'm the fucking crazy person and Tom's such a fucking perfect guy in a perfect relationship now. And it's not. So she wanted to prove herself. And, I was respecting my girlfriend and backing her up because, she's my girlfriend. So that's what you do, So that's how it was. But then, obviously when I watched it back, it was so like... oh, I gotta get Tom and Ariana together. And when she did that, that wasn't even talking about that. It's just, I can't even go into detail about it because it's so crazy, but no, it wasn't that.
And are you guys cool with Trevor now?
No, he's got a stupid beard. He's
not.
so dumb. Trevor's just disrespectful and I just don't like him. And especially, like, that just revolves around other shit too, She
He's
gets
just
all
not a
butthurt
fan.
about it, whatever, I don't
He's
care.
just not a fan. I don't train
It's
with
not
him
a
anymore.
fan.
No, I said you're not a
It's
fan
him
of
one
him.
time.
is
Not
what
a
I meant.
fan, and neither is Scheana anymore. Like, considering what Scheana had to say about him last time I spoke to her,
Well.
Anyway.
Sorry, Trevor.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, you won't be on next season, I don't think. And is there any gossip, like, you can tell us about, is there a next season? Like, what's happening? Is there anything that you can tell us?
I assume so. I have heard through the grapevine that potential secondary cast members have been speaking to people, but I personally have not been given like an option letter or like a green light at all.
Will we see some new faces?
I mean, I feel like every season you need to see new faces. It would be. Could you imagine not seeing?
That's
new
what
faces?
I told you
So
that whenever I
boring.
ran into you on the street on Robertson. Like I was really happy that you were on the show because it's a new face bringing like whether you like what you're saying or not. Like it's a new something that's like
there
coming
needs
about.
to be
Yeah. And it really is like what you make of it too. You know, they can hire anyone to be on next season as a secondary cast, but you know, it's what you make, it's what you do, it's what you talk about, it's life, you know. And if it revolves around these people for real, then you can expect some drama, and if it doesn't, then you know it doesn't. Because that's what I feel like. The bigger the show gets, the more like, you know, Lisa's applications are tripling by the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Lisa's in a position now where it's like, who's the best looking out of these? Who's the best actor out of these?
Who's
Like, what
the
can I
craziest?
do? Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
because
you
people
know,
are obviously going to want to just be on, so they'll do anything too.
It's very
but that doesn't
unpredictable,
work in our group. At the same time,
Well, it's
it
like
doesn't work
your
in our
relationships
group.
are so deep rooted.
Yeah.
And there's so many like varied and crazy situations.
Right.
It's like
Right.
Over so many years,
But
way
how long
before
can
the
you
show
talk about
existed.
those? You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Well, yeah. Do you
So-
think any of those
True.
main cast members will be cut for next season?
I mean, I don't know if Stassi will come back.
yeah.
I'm not saying she'll be cut by any means. I just don't think that she'll want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak for her. I mean, I know
not
that
really
she's
a
expressed that she
point.
doesn't want to. Whether or not she actually will or will not, I think that she's over it.
But do you think some of the other people are getting a little boring? Like, would you like to
I mean,
see
I
it
think
shaken
that they're
up
a little
bit?
boring. Yeah, I definitely do. But I don't
Yeah.
think that they'll be cut by any means. No.
That's like such a question for the public, you know?
I know, I
Just
mean-
for one of us
Give
to say that, it's like,
come on.
Well, I
So
mean, I
who
don't
would
care.
you guys replace?
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think any primary cast member should be cut, but I do think Tom and Ariana's storyline is boring. I think that Ariana's boring. I think she's too afraid, or maybe not. Maybe that actually is the way that she is. Maybe she's that reserved because I don't know her very well, but she is just very like, it's like I'm watching paint dry. Like, is she too afraid that she's gonna look bad? Well, guess what? You signed on a effing reality show. We all fucking look bad sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
and I've talked to Scheana about this in the past too, and I know Sheena's kind of told her like, you got to bring it a little bit. Like in Miami, Scheana and I had a conversation about when I was kind of giving those like tasteless little digs about like the cucumber and the knife and the champagne. Like I was just being facetious. I was buzzed. Like I wasn't trying to hurt anyone. Give me a break. But Scheana had, I guess, said to Ariana, which she told me later, like, give it back to her a little bit. Like if you hear that, give it back to her. And she refuses. So I'm not saying we should have gotten into some like screaming match because that would have been lame too. But if you're always just going to sit in the corner like a little mouse, like move on. Like I don't even want to watch that as a viewer. So, and then it's not a dig. Straight, I swear on my life, you guys, it's not a dig on their relationship. If it's kind of the same way I feel about Christina Kelly. She's just like this pointless like little bird that just chirps in. She's a good-looking girl.
That's
she really
how we've been
is.
describing her all season.
But
Or I
it's
have,
just
at least.
like her life's not involved. You don't know where she lives. You don't know about her family or her boyfriend or anything like that. And I
And
know
you
that
don't
her,
care.
and her boyfriend doesn't want to be a part of it, and I get that too. But she's just there, like giving her 2 cents, and it's like, well, you don't get to do that,
Well, I feel like she's there for Stassi to have scenes
right?
with. What about Vale? Because I still don't understand the point of Vale. And like I'm sure she's a
Yeah.
great girl, but I feel like
Yeah,
that
she
went
is.
wrong.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, I love Vale to
Yeah,
death. I
she's
really
probably
do.
cool.
And Vale is probably the one person I hung out with in Miami the most.
Yeah.
But
They're just like I feel like they were trying to push her to have like more of a storyline, like either with Jax or with Peter, and it was like
it did
she's
feel that
probably
way
like, I
watching
don't want to
it.
hook up with either of them. Leave me alone.
Yeah, it felt that way watching it.
Yeah.
And because I know that people like Danny, who she was like really best friends with.
Yeah.
And then it was like Danny was never included. So it was always just kind of like Vale and like Stassi and Christina or Vale and Katie. Or it was just weird. The way that it came off on camera. And I really, really like Vale.
Yeah.
But
It
it
seemed-
just didn't
It seemed like the
sense.
producers were like, you have to be here at this time, be with these people, and like, boom, that's it. Like, that just seemed like not a natural situation.
Wait, you guys, we need to talk about like the big bomb of the night because I'm dying. Because last week, you weren't here unfortunately, but last week we kind of like had a teaser that you told us and that Rachel told us that like what the real issue between Stassi and Scheana was, and they revealed it last night. And
I'm shocked that it actually
I
went
told
to
you so,
camera.
girl.
I told you so.
I know, but I couldn't believe it.
I didn't
And-
know if that was actually going to air. Even when we talked about it at the reunion, I'm like, I don't think.
Well, you could tell Stassi was like, shut
Stassi was
that
like, I
down.
didn't want anyone to know.
Well, Stassi
like, why would
stopped
she say
and said
it?
to the producers, I'll talk about this if you don't agree to air it, right? And they were like, no agreement. Is that what happened?
No. If you don't agree to air it, I
Like,
mean,
like that she kind of stopped the cameras and was like, all
She
right, I'll
didn't know.
talk
I mean,
about it.
there's
if
no
you-
Can't
stopping
do
of
it.
any
Yeah, you
cameras.
can't do anything.
Yeah.
You can't
say
stop
whatever you
cameras.
like.
Why? What do you think was her motivation in revealing it? It's been kept quiet for so long.
I don't know why she really decided to. I mean, I don't know. I guess if someone else is going to bring it up, what is she going to do? Clam up? I don't know.
See, it was interesting to
That's
me
my
because
guess.
she wouldn't do any scenes with Jax and like
Right.
who knows what's going on with them, but it's
She
but
just
she would
hates-
do
like, he's
scenes
just-
with Scheana though.
Yeah,
And,
but
like,
Jax is like, I mean, he's like basically ruined her life. Like, it's like emotional distress for like the rest
Yeah.
of her life. Like, and
Their
like,
relationship is played out on camera.
well, and she made the point very clearly, and I feel like maybe people didn't grasp this enough, that she was like, I am in a relationship now, and number one, my boyfriend, whether it's not up to Patrick, but she's like, I respect that, but also they have one, let's say they film one little lunch. What is Jax going to turn that into? Oh, we actually filmed for 3 hours, and what we actually did was this, and then she kissed me, or she whatever. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, yeah, Jax is
Who knows
crazy.
what he's going to
Yeah.
say? And she just doesn't want to be a part of his manipulation anymore. And I firmly believe that, because I even said it was super brief at the reunion on camera. He told Carmen that he had a lunch with Stassi. And when I called him out on it straight to his face, he's like,
said
no,
no.
I didn't. No, I
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah, actually, he said, I didn't have lunch with Carmen. And then he was like, Stassi, it's like, dude, you just make up lies.
Well, lucky for you, no one believes him, so it doesn't. Really
No,
matter.
of course not. But I get why she refused to even film with him, because one tiny filming session that was maybe you're at lunch for 2 hours and it airs 5 minutes of it, he could have made up anything.
But then why would she film with Scheana if like Scheana hurt her so much?
It's still not Jax. Sheena's nothing like Jax.
I'm not trying
Sheena's
to compare them again.
No, but that's
by the
why
way.
though. But Sheena's
Yeah.
not a crazy sociopath who's gonna make
Yeah.
things up maliciously to hurt her because she wants attention. Like, Scheana wouldn't do that. Even as mad as Scheana might be as Stassi, or as much shit as she might talk about her, or vice versa,
Like she wouldn't.
no
try
one
to
is
hurt her.
Jax.
Yeah.
Are you surprised that Jax or no one else outed this tape thing? Because you guys all knew about it for quite a while, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would never talk about it on camera, ever. I don't know about the rest of them, though. I'm not friends with them, so I don't, maybe they have, maybe not. I'm not really sure.
It's surprising that Jax wouldn't, isn't it?
I mean, but maybe he did, and they had some sort of agreement that it wouldn't be. Like, I don't know. As far as, like, their team, why does my ring keep pulling up? As far as their teams are concerned, I don't know. It's just not something that I would have ever done without Stassi's consent. And I heard about it when we were, like, mortal enemies.
Well, all I know is that I hope the person who has this video doesn't like kind of feel like fire to release it now.
But that's why we have the new law. Was it SB 255? Revenge porn, cyber, completely illegal. So if this said person or any cast member really at this point, or anyone within, not that I think the network or production would, but it's like anyone even related to that knows about this tries to screw her like that, jail time.
Well,
First guy got 8 months.
I know you can't say a ton,
Yeah.
but there have been reports that Lisa paid a large sum of money to this guy to not talk about it and to not sell it. Do you
I don't
think that
believe
that's
that.
BS?
No, I think it's total bullshit. I don't think Lisa, I would really hope that she would have no hand in it either way. I know she's been aware of it for a long time. It's been about a year that I've known about it. Wow. But no.
Well, it's nice if Lisa put a stop to it,
Yeah,
though.
definitely.
Yeah.
I don't think she put a stop to it. I don't think she fueled it by any means, definitely not, but she was the one to put a stop to it. Yeah, right. No way. I mean, Stassi has a PR team, and we have managers, we have a lawyer. Like, Lisa, no. I don't think so.
I just can't believe it didn't come out sooner.
I know. Yeah, for
With
sure.
all the
Yeah.
stuff that happened.
I mean, when I first heard about it, like I said, it was about a year ago. I actually didn't. The first time I ever heard about it, I got a text from someone from TMZ, and my first thing was like, "How do you even have my phone number?" It was weird, and I contacted someone in PR at the network, and just said, forwarded
what's
them a
happening.
screenshot, and they said, just don't respond. And I was like, well, I wasn't planning on it, and it wasn't saying anything. It just said, can we talk to you? Something regarding Stassi. And can we have her number? And I'm like, what?
That's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just send you her
totally
contact
TMZ.
info. Like, no, but
That's
they said
so
this is
creepy.
so and so from TMZ, blah blah blah. And I'm like, how do you have my number? blah, blah, blah. And then at that time, I had tried contacting Stassi, but clearly she wasn't speaking to me because this was just months after the summer had ended. And I just kind of texted her and let her know what was coming to me. I contacted the network. They said, don't respond. I said, I won't. I went into work that exact day. I actually was sitting in the store parking lot when this happened. And then I walked in and Scheana told me, I was like, Scheana, oh my God, like, why is TMZ contacting me? This is so weird. And she told me what it was about. So. And then it just kind of
there you have it.
went on and on from
And
there.
she was laughing and making jokes at this time with you about it?
Yes.
Well, I'm interested to see if this will. I mean, if Stassi comes
It's
back
never
next
gonna
season,
come out.
at least she has like a storyline.
It's never going to come out. I mean, it can at this point. California state law.
Yeah.
Thank God for that. No one deserves that. I tweeted that last night. It was like, I don't care how much she hates Jax or Scheana hates Stassi or Katie and Stassi hate each other or whatever. It's like everyone pumped the brakes for 5 minutes and remember a few years ago, we all like seriously loved each other and we were really, really tight. Like we've all cared about each other and no one deserves this. Not even, I don't want to say not even Jax. Maybe Jax deserves this. If we're him, maybe I would say
I
he
mean,
deserves
he
it.
probably would release a sex tape himself.
He
Like,
would.
let's be
You're
honest.
right. But like no
like
one,
that.
like Stassi does not deserve this no matter how mean everyone thinks she is. It's like,
I mean, it's like
just
this
like
show
on another
eventually will be
level.
over one day. And like, you don't want your legacy to be like about a sex tape. You know what I'm
No.
saying? Like, unless that's what you want it
It
to be
works
about.
really
Right.
well for Kim Kardashian.
I mean,
but
true.
if you
And
are the
Paris
Kim
Hilton.
K or the Paris
Paris
Hilton,
Hilton.
and if
Kendra
that's what you
Wilkinson.
want,
Yeah, but
mean,
obviously
if
that's not
history
what
is
you
right.
want.
Yeah, then release that girl. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah.
But I think we need to wrap it up here. But I'm so thankful for the two of you for coming because
Yeah.
we've been very tough on you this
Thank you,
season,
guys.
and I'm so thankful that you came on. You can find me on Twitter at Jake_DuPree and on Instagram at Jake DuPree, and also you can check me out on PopSugarFitness.com.
Yeah.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Miss Zias and check out my fashion blog, MissZias.com.
Guys, it's Megan Stecher for the last time this season. So awesome. Keep tweeting me, and I'm on Instagram at Megan Stecher. Oh, I know. This is so sad.
But now you all know I have the dish, so sometimes I can't say it on air, but I'll tweet you. So everybody tweet me at Christy Reports, and please check out my YouTube channel. It's also at Christy Reports.
And where can we find the two of you social media?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at It's James Kennedy, and you can also listen to my music on SoundCloud.com/James Kennedy Music.
Get the song.
And when can we see you at Pump?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, and I turn it up for Sunday brunch too.
All
Yes.
right.
You guys gotta come get
Yes.
pictures.
Turn up on
The turn
Sunday.
up.
And I'll be at Sir every Wednesday night.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
And if I'm not, then I'm DJing somewhere else.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And then I'll be there like in tow. Just kidding. And Twitter and Instagram, Kristen Doute, Doute.
Thank you so much,
Thank
guys.
you.
Guys, see you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.